A community outraged after a judge dismisses the case against a man accused in a 20-year-old cold case murder involving a child. Tonight, the district attorney explains what happened.
We had an ethical and legal obligation to disclose it to Mr. Kuhn's defense attorney and to the judge.
What they had to disclose is that the new evidence they said they had, which led to the arrest of Timothy Kuhn, was not new at all. Kuhn was arrested in 2023 for the arson murder of Savannah Streber. The 8-year-old Rochester girl was found dead in her home in 2004. Tonight, the district attorney tells me they learned just last week that the witness who claimed to hear a confession had actually approached investigators a long time ago.
There's a child killer right there. Why did you kill my sister, Tim? You did it!
As Timothy Kuhn left the Monroe County Jail, angry and confused family members of Savannah Streber shouted at Kuhn and his attorney. How did a man it took 20 years to arrest suddenly walk free before the trial even began? Today I spoke by phone with Monroe County District Attorney Brian Green, who shed more light on exactly what went wrong.
It's heartbreaking to not be able to provide some level of closure or accountability for Savannah's family, but the decision itself was, despite the difficulty of the circumstances, the decision itself actually was pretty easy because we have this obligation that we take very seriously.
For nearly 20 years, the case went unsolved. 8-year-old Savannah died in her home on Yates Street in the city of Rochester when someone threw a Molotov cocktail into the house. In 2018, investigators discovered what they said was new evidence, a witness who claimed Timothy Kuhn confessed.
Our ADAs were prepping and interviewing the witness and learned that he had said something back in 2005, which renders it not new evidence.
It seems like that could have been inconsequential, but it really wasn't.
No, it's absolutely consequential.
Last week, the DA's office corroborated from that witness that he had indeed come forward 20 years ago, but somehow those notes never made it into the case file. The DA says they were then obligated to share that information with Kuhn's attorneys.
And so once you learn then that the confession actually was known about in 2005, it's not new evidence, and there no longer is any good reason to have waited 20 years to move forward.
Kuhn's attorneys immediately moved to have the charges dismissed on constitutional grounds. Why would it be a violation of someone's constitutional rights if he hadn't been charged and was living freely for 20 years?
The idea is that they, would have been able to provide a more robust and better defense back in 2005 and 2006 if the case had been brought then, on the same evidence that it's now being brought 20 years later.
RPD declined to comment further on the mistakes made and why no one ever followed up with the witness. Investigators who handled the case back then have since retired. Green says it hasn't been easy for anyone.
I'm proud of the prosecutors for seeking justice in this case. It just turned out to be a different sort of justice than anyone anticipated.
Kuhn cannot be recharged in this case on the state level. It is possible the feds could look at the case, but Green says he's had no conversations with federal prosecutors.